Welcome friends, my name is Mitch and today we're doing another Michael James Smith Art School project. So this is my video log of me sort of progressing through the school projects from easiest to hardest type thing. So we had such a great success on the last painting, which had mountains in it, and I was very pleased with my mountains that I decided to do another mountain. He just released this about a week ago, so I'm sort of excited about it. I don't see anyone else doing it, so I sort of want to take it on and give it a try and see what happens. Unfortunately, this is a big project. It's a 12 by 16. It's 8 hours of video. This is not an insignificant project by any means. So I am sort of excited about it, but nervous at the same time. I have not done a 12 by 16 yet. So I had to go to Michael's to get this, and unfortunately it had damage on this corner and on that corner, but you can't really see it, especially once I get it in a frame. So hopefully it doesn't have any more damage. I'm using a Mona Lisa 12 by 16 panel I got from Michael's. So for the base coat, instead of doing his acrylic, we are using Gamblin Artist Oil Colors Fast Matte, which is similar sort of an alkyd oil without a lot of the toxicity of the full alkyd oils. So my face is like a foot away from this thing. I don't want a lot of toxicity in here, especially with low ventilation, so I'm using this. And this is, base coats are done. I do like the oil color. I get good coverage with it. So now for the oil colors we'll be using today. For the main picture, it's going to be Blue Ridge Oil Colors by Eric Silver, one of my absolute favorite paints ever, and we're going to be using that today for the main painting. So again, it's 8 hours long. Probably take me 15 hours. Going to try to marathon it and get it done this weekend. We'll see how it goes. But I got really picky with the base coats, because I think your base coat sort of defines the mood for the rest of your painting. If your base coat's way off, or the colors are wrong, or anything like that, you sort of just get demoralized. At least I do, because now you're like, all right, now I have to redo this. And so the fact that I got everything around sort of the right place and sort of the correct color gives me a lot of enthusiasm to go with the next steps. So let's see how this goes, and I will see you after video 2. Alright, video 2 is now complete. Obviously you can see where it was focused. We had the mountains as well as the sky. So I do like my sky, part of the reflection from the lights. And there are my mountains. I'm pretty pleased with it. This area here was surprisingly easy. I think this whole area here took me like 5 minutes. So it's not something, when I first saw this and my girlfriend asked, so what do you do, draw every line? And the answer is yes, but you can pretty much just go wild, just go, you know. You don't have to go, all right, this line, this needs to be exactly 1 millimeter, and this needs to be at a 45 degree. No, you don't have to do all that. You just sort of go wild. As long as you're sort of in the neighborhood of what he has, then you can just go nuts with it, and it looks good. I mean, that looks nice. I'm pretty proud of this area up here. I think that turned out quite well. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with part 2. So like the sky, and I like the mountains. I messed up right here. I'm not sure if you could see that. I messed up right here by not having enough snow. So I'm going to go back, as well as I messed up this area. It does not look like his. It's not as detailed. But I think it's acceptable. It's not something to where I'm just going to stop everything and go back over it. I think it looks okay. It doesn't draw my eye. I mean, I can make mistakes all day, that's fine, but when it draws my eye directly to it, then I need to fix it. I mean, that's just my opinion. So overall, pretty happy with the finish of video 2. And we will see you in the video 3. And welcome back. We're done with part 3, video 3. And we worked on this a little bit. We did this, and then we did this whole section up here, and then up here, and a bunch of details. So that was a good 40 minutes, 48 minutes of just this area right here. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I could not get the color that he had here for these little dots. I'm a little off. I should have added yellow. That's my bad. Next time I'll know to add more yellow, but other than that, the sky also looks kind of weird. I just noticed. Like you have this blue up here, and then all of a sudden you just have these random clouds that start at the same straight line. As well as over here, let me block the light, as well as over here you have this odd super light section right here. So I may go through and sort of fix that, but for now I am fairly pleased with how I did the mountains. I think it looks dead on with what he has, and good news, you don't have to be perfect with every little dot. You can sort of be squiggly with it, just like I talked about last time. So that's great news for me, because man, that would be horrific to have to go and match every little single dot. So it's good that we can play around a little bit, you know, make sort of the patterns we want. Next video, it looks like we're going to be handling this section here with quite a few straight squiggly lines. In the meantime, I think I'm going to order another set of these script brushes that he uses. I do have script brushes, but they don't hold a point as good as these do. These are really nice. I have never owned one of this 771 series. I do have Rosemary & Co. brushes, but not any 771. And I am really impressed with how razor sharp that keeps. Super, super sharp. I really like it. So I think I'm going to order me a few more. They're only $3 each. I'll get one each of each size, so it's been another $9. No big deal. Anyway, we'll see you at the end of the next video. Welcome back. We're done with part 4, which was short. Part 3 was short. Ooh, part 5 is an hour and 41 minutes. That makes up for the last 2 short ones, I guess. Anyway, so obviously part 4, we worked on this, we tweaked this, and got this done in about 45-48 minutes. Only thing I don't like is this here does not look exactly like his. I think I could have tweaked it more. In addition, I put this really strong yellow on there. I don't know why I did that. I don't know what I was thinking. But there's a strong yellow right here. Well, where'd it go? It was right there. And that strong yellow looked terrible. Your eye went straight to it. I was just like, oh crap. So then I tried to go over it with blue and it made it green. So I had to get a brush with thinner on it and sort of lightly scrape the line, and that didn't work. So I ended up getting a tissue and just rubbing that little section out and then redoing it basically. But I can't really tell, or you can't tell that it was redone. It's not like a portrait to where things like that would be really obvious. Anyway, looking at his, I think I'm pretty close. I'm not close enough. I don't think it's exact. He has some curvatures in his that I don't have. But overall, I think it's acceptable. It doesn't look too bad. We're going to be adding to it anyway, so I'm pretty happy with the progression on that. So that is part 4. Now see you after part 5, which is an hour and a half long. It's going to be quite some time. And welcome back. We're done with part 5, video 5 there. So I had to split it between yesterday and today because it was an hour and a half and it took a long time. A lot of details around this area, obviously this mountain here, and a lot of the highlighting. We did this, and then we did this area down here. So it looks like in part 6, 7, and 8, they both look like about an hour. We do the trees and then the foreground, and I believe in the next part we're doing the trees. So a lot of detail in those. I'm pretty happy with my mountains. I completely hosed this color here and got it wrong. So I'm sort of concerned about the end result. I think that this area here needs to be darker, and I would be a lot happier. So it seems I'm just missing that. So I'll probably wait till it dries and then glaze over that area there to make it look more like what he has, and then maybe redo some of the highlights. Overall, I'm just not all that happy with it. So that's just me though. So let's get the trees done in part 6, and then we'll come back. It looks like he has a completely fresh palette made for this. And, you know, looking at his fresh palette, I'm thinking I need to do the same. I'm suffering from my whites getting a bit sticky, as well as that yellow is unmanageable, and the brown and the black are almost rock solid. So I think I need to just re-squirt some new paint and get that freshened up. So we will be back after part 6. And welcome back. That is the end of video 6. So obviously in this video we did the trees. Now when I did the base coats, I made it way too dark. So I had to come back in with like a yellow and basically reverse what he was doing, because he had light and he was making dark on the shadow side, but mine was so dark all over that I had to make light on the light side. So hopefully that looks okay. I mean, just sort of at a glance, I think it's alright. We have weird spots like right here and right here that are straight lines, and I'm kind of concerned about those. So I'm going to have to come in and sort of soften those up with something, but yeah, straight lines like that don't look good. As well as right here, I had to come fix it because it was all white and it looked really weird. In addition, right here, you'll notice this curves up, and when things are going downward, nothing curves up like that in nature. So unless something's coming down off here, but I don't know, man, that's really bothering the crap out of me. So I think I'm going to put some more branches there to make it not stand out as much. I did have to come in here in the back as well and darken that up. His is really blue, bright blue, and mine is not. And the problem I had was this looked like it was coming all the way down here. And so I had to come back and darken it. I think I'm going to glaze it when I'm done to make it a little more bright blue and sort of fix it. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with what I have. I know this is a little bit of a straight line here. I need to fix that. As well, again, I need to darken sort of this line. We're going to deal with that with some glazes later. Overall, I like the tree line. Pretty pleased with video 6. Let's move into video 7 and we'll be back then. So video 7 is completed. As you can see, a lot of detailing on the trees. The darks are nice. I did fix that straight line that was here. I fixed that by putting some fuzz on the end. Same with that gap here. I fixed that with some fuzz on the top. Over here, fixed. And then I fixed that a little more. So overall, I like the trees. I did add a little extra yellow to what he had. I can tell you that if your base coat for this area is bad, don't worry about it. If it's too light, if the shape is off, if it's too dark, it does not matter. You're going to be going over it with more dark, more light, more dark, more light. So whatever you had there is going to be just fine. Just sort of fuzz up the edges if you need to. So we are on the grand finale coming up. Part 8. Part 8, obviously. Captain Obvious here. It's going to be the grass. So let's get part 8 done. We'll come back with a conclusion and a final look at the painting. And I'm done. I skipped the clouds. I did not like how they looked. It had this triangle shape right here. I just didn't like it. I like it like this. So I'm going to leave it like this. This is my version of Michael James Smith Mountain Lesson. I completely screwed up these grasses, and I'm not sure how to fix it either. I went frame by frame on his, and mine still look like crap. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I need to practice. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed watching me completely mess up this lesson, and I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me on my journey through the Michael James Smith School.